With the Tales of the Empire coming in almost a week, I wanted to give you every piece of information you need to know about one of the main characters in the series. The Tales of the Empire will feature two main characters, one being Barriss Offee and the other being Morgan Elsbeth, who we see in the live-action show Ahsoka. Barriss Offee was a padawan to Luminara Unduli during the Clone Wars. She was around the same age as Ahsoka Tano, and the two were actually really close friends. They went on many missions together, taught each other about the Force, and Ahsoka even saved her life a few times. The two had a pretty strong friendship, having fought in the Clone Wars together and grown up together. In typical Star Wars fashion, the two Jedi don't have much good luck because in Season 5, their friendship took a much unexpected turn. The Jedi Temple was under attack, and Anakin and Ahsoka went to investigate. Ahsoka was able to trace the attacker's steps, but the real attacker used this opportunity to frame Ahsoka for the tragedy at the temple. This is what leads to Ahsoka being kicked out of the Jedi Order. Fortunately, Anakin comes in and saves the day and traces the steps of the real attacker back to the Jedi Temple. To the audience's shock, we find out that the attacker is none other than Barriss Offee, Ahsoka's friend. When Barriss was asked why she betrayed the Jedi, she answered that it was the Jedi who betrayed the galaxy. She believed that Jedi were keepers of the peace, but throughout the Clone Wars, she saw nothing from them but destruction. She thought the Jedi lost their way and they were the true evils in the galaxy. She said she planned the attack because she was hoping to get the galaxy to start distrusting the Jedi. She believed that the Jedi wanted war, and the only way for peace would be to take the Jedi out of power. It really seems like Palpatine or someone similar was planting these thoughts in her head because they sound awfully familiar. Shortly after the reveal, Barriss was taken to prison where she was never heard from again until Tales of the Empire. Fans have speculated for a while now that Barriss became an inquisitor after the Empire took over. We didn't have an exact idea as to Barriss's opinion on the Sith or the dark side, but we do know that she had a fight with Asajj Ventress and ended up stealing her lightsabers. We know that she gave in to fear and hate when she attacked the Jedi Temple and blamed her friend. It seemed pretty likely that Barriss would turn into an inquisitor after the Empire rose to power, and as soon as the trailer for Tales of the Empire dropped, everyone was very excited to see the Padawan returning to finish her story. It is a bit shocking to see Barriss making the full switch to Inquisitor though, because she never seemed fully engulfed in the dark side. Her methods were obviously very evil and nowhere near what a true Jedi would have done. But considering her mission was to fight for peace within the galaxy, it's not very convincing yet that Barriss made a full transition to being a Sith. Now, from the trailer and the quick images we see of Barriss, to me it looks like she is pretty terrified, and it seems like she will quickly come to regret her decision of turning against the Jedi. She seems really in over her head with the other Inquisitors, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see this dark side light side struggle within her during the Tales of the Empire series. There will be a total of 6 episodes in the whole series, and we already know we're going to get a backstory of Morgan Elsbeth and Barriss. This series will probably only touch on Barriss for about 3 episodes, similar to how Tales of the Jedi followed Ahsoka Tano and Count Dooku for 3 episodes each. In Tales of the Jedi, we got to see 2 Force users who have left the Jedi Order. One finds her way back to the path of the light side, and one plunges himself deeper into the dark side. I'm guessing that's what we're going to see as well for Barriss and Elsbeth. We already know that Elsbeth goes all in with Thrawn and the Night Sisters, so I'm thinking Barriss will eventually betray the Empire in some sort of way. I think it would be amazing if we see Barriss and Ahsoka reunite at some point. We know Ahsoka finds her way battling Inquisitors all throughout the reign of the Empire, so this idea might not be too far from reality. But the main question that you might be asking is why the Empire chose to save Barriss as opposed to just killing her. Well, Palpatine knew about the attack on the temple, and of course he knew eventually it was Barriss who planned the attack. But since she had no loyalty to the Jedi anymore, I'm sure Palpatine saw this as a huge plus. So this might be one part of the answer as to why the Empire chose to save Barriss, and the rest of the answer starts to reveal itself as we look into Barriss Offee's master, Luminara Unduli. Master Luminara was a very powerful Jedi master, but she wasn't as skilled in the typical strength and lightsaber combat that other Jedi were. What makes her so unique is that she had an extremely strong connection to the Force. Luminara and Barriss come from a species that have a special tradition in the Jedi Order. The species is called a Murialan, and the tradition is that other Murialans can only be trained by a master who is also Murialan. This is to keep their unique culture and connection to the Force alive. This usually makes the Jedi very skilled at their sensing abilities, a skill set that you might say would be perfect for an Inquisitor. The Inquisitors wanted to hunt any Force-sensitive beings and either capture them or get rid of them. Since Master Unduli's connection to the Force was so strong, I think the Empire figured Barriss could offer the same skill set. I think the Empire wanted to use Barriss to help track down Force sensitives. They probably assume Barriss has an affinity for sensing powers within other beings, and she could be used as a specific tool for the Inquisitor's mission. That's pretty much all we know on Barriss so far, but I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. Do you think Barriss will fully become a dark side user? Also, if you're excited for animated Star Wars, check out my predictions on what the newest full-length series of animated Star Wars could be. Tales of the Empire is classified as a short series, but since Lucasfilm has been releasing full-length series every year since the Clone Wars, I think we have a good chance at seeing a continuation of the Clone Wars saga. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for subscribing. May the Force be with you, and I'll see you next time.